all coincidences with real people are random. If they tell you that this is not the case, ignore them. Alex was a poor student who desperately needed money. Every day was a struggle for survival, and when he found an ad for a job at a 24-hour cafe, he seized the opportunity with enthusiasm. The cafe was located in the old part of the city, and the job required full immersion cleaning, cooking, and serving customers. Despite the tough conditions, Alex knew this was his chance to improve his financial situation. In the first few days, work went smoothly. The cafe was not very popular, so he had enough time to complete all his duties. But everything changed one night. Late at night, a strange man entered the cafe. He was tall and gaunt, his face obscured by the shadow of a wide-brimmed hat. His appearance immediately gave Alex an uneasy feeling. "Good evening. How can I help you?" Alex asked, trying to keep his voice steady. The man said nothing, just stood there and stared at him as if studying his every move. After a few minutes of silence, the man suddenly turned and left without saying a word. A cold shiver ran down Alex's spine. He tried to convince himself that it was just a strange visitor and nothing more. However, the next day that man appeared again. He stood outside the cafe window, staring intently inside. This time he didn't enter, but his presence was palpable and intrusive. From then on, Alex began to see the man everywhere. He stood by the window, walked past the back entrance, and sometimes even followed Alex home. Gradually, this became a living nightmare. Alex felt his fear and paranoia taking over his mind. Every night it became harder to work. Alex snapped at customers and got irritated at the slightest provocation. He couldn't sleep, plagued by nightmares where he saw the strange man always watching him. One night, when the cafe was almost empty, the man entered again. He stood silently in the corner of the room, watching Alex. This time, Alex couldn't take it. "What do you want?" he screamed, but the man didn't respond, just kept watching. Suddenly, the man started to move slowly towards Alex. The young man's heart raced, and he felt his blood pounding in his temples. Unable to withstand the pressure, Alex ran out of the cafe, leaving everything behind. He ran through the empty streets of the city, not paying attention to where he was going. Fear drove him forward until he collapsed from exhaustion. In the morning, passers-by found him lying on the sidewalk, completely drained mentally and physically. They called an ambulance, and Alex was taken to a psychiatric hospital. The doctors diagnosed Alex with acute mental disorder. He constantly felt like someone was watching him, but no one could confirm his words. Alex never stopped talking about the strange man who was following him. However, within the hospital walls, the man seemed to disappear. For a while, Alex felt better. The treatment helped him calm down a bit, and he began to believe that his torment was over. But deep down, he knew the nightmare wasn't finished. One evening, while Alex was sitting in his room eating, he felt that same sense of unease. He looked around but didn't see anything unusual. Suddenly, the strange man crawled out of the wall opposite his bed. Alex froze, dropping his utensils. The man approached him slowly and grabbed the knife. Alex felt panic and horror engulf him. He tried to scream, but no sound came out. The man began to inflict wounds on him, each movement of the knife causing unbearable pain. These were the last moments of his life. After Alex's death, the doctors and staff at the hospital couldn't understand what had happened. No one, besides Alex, had seen this strange man. Soon it became clear that the man was a figment of Alex's tormented mind. Alex couldn't handle the psychological pressure and ultimately took his own life. All his fears and problems materialized in the form of this strange man, who eventually led him to a tragic end. Alex's story served as a lesson to everyone who heard it. It reminded them of the importance of taking care of one's mental health and not ignoring the signs of stress and fear. Alex's life ended tragically, but his story remained as a warning that sometimes our most terrifying enemies live inside us.